All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the first of our two semi-final matches in the Counter-Strike Winter Tournament for Irish Collegiate Esports. I will be casting tonight as Nasperad, and joining me is our good old friend Cardinal. How are you doing, Cardinal?
I'm not doing too bad, Nasparad, and I'm really looking forward to this semi-final. This is the first of two series that we'll have on tonight. This semi-final taking place between TUD Apes and, of course, the wonderful WIT Vikings. So this could shape up to be one of the best series we've had all tournament.
It could be. I have the brackets up here on stream now, and as you can see, we'll be doing the first game between WIT and TUD, and later you will be seeing CIT versus the Ulster Unicorns. But as you can see, even in the brackets we have there for the finals, these are all teams that are winning 2-0. So this is going to be an absolute clash of titans here for the rest of the whole evening.
Obviously, we've got to call a spade a spade. TUD are currently, 3-time back-to-back-to-back winners, first place in Irish Collegiate Esports CSGO. So I'm sure they will have a lot of fans watching at home to see will they be able to secure that spot in the grand final for a fourth year in the row. But on the other side, WIT are a new squad. They've just entered the ICE ecosystem. They've obviously shown brilliant results and gotten to the semi-finals so far off their own merit. But will they have that little bit of momentum to topple TUD and take that final spot away from them? That's why I think this is going to be such a great series.
It is, yeah. And I mean, as a new team, you can almost stand back and just appreciate how far WIT have come, given that this is their first game, and they're now playing in the semi-finals against the ICE champions from last year, and the team TUD, the team who have been constantly making it into the finals. Like, they're already doing exceedingly well for a new team.
Of course, it's a great showing from a new squad, and of course, your own individual skill comes into it when you enter a tournament like this. But when you have to go up against teams that have had 2, 3, 4 years of kind of playing together semi regularly, whether it's in ICE or other online events, that can be quite difficult once you get into the business end of a tournament. Once you get into that playoff stage, that's when the cracks in teamwork and the inexperience can start to show up. But on the other side of it, WIT have held firm so far, and I'm sure they're coming into this one prepared, knowing the caliber of player and team that they're going up against.
If you don't mind, I am actually going to test out Counter-Strike's new feature, and I'm actually going to show some of these warm-up matches that are happening right now, because already the flicks are coming in strong.
Yeah, we've got this new 1v1 arena now in the custom servers, which is very unusual. I have to say, I'm not used to this whatsoever, but I think it's a nice addition for the game. No more spraying a negative at your teammate's head for 2 or 3 minutes while you're waiting for the last person to ready up. So helps players get maybe a little bit warmed up. They probably come straight from a bot server or a deathmatch server, and now they get to kind of keep that form right before the start of the game.
Exactly. Always. Yeah, and it's just fun to see. It's way more fun for us to see as well, as we can already see people, all of the skills starting to come out and everything. So very quickly, while this goes on, we will move over to the pick and bans, which of course, because these finals are a best of 3, means we will be doing a slightly different ban phase than previously. So the first pair of bans to come out was Vertigo from WIT and Inferno from TUD. Honestly, I'm fascinated by that Inferno pick. We've been playing Inferno all season, so it's it's nice. It's good to see a map change up, and it's also good. It's also interesting to see that TUD just does not want to play on a map so familiar to everyone in the tournament.
Yeah, we've seen TUD do this before, where they've obviously shown that they're comfortable on any map. I mean, we've seen teams pick Vertigo into TUD to try and maybe throw them off their game, and that just completely backfired. These guys can play any map to a very high level. So for them, they go into each and every veto with kind of almost an inherent advantage because they're comfortable on all these maps, where you can't really ban away a map that they like and pick something that they're a little bit uncomfortable on, because they're just comfortable on everything. So that's a really strong sign from this team. And Inferno, I suppose, is one of those kind of more neutral maps. People argue it's T-sided, it's CT-sided, but although the retakes are difficult, I do think Inferno is one of the most balanced maps we have in the current map pool. So that's an interesting pick to ban out. Now, with that said, we will be going over to Mirage, as everyone can see watching at home. Mirage will be our very first map, with TUD starting on the CT side. So again, Mirage is just your classic pug map. You know, everybody knows it. It's one of the most picked maps in Face It, and for good reason. It is just bread and butter for all the players in this server tonight.
Yeah, exactly. And immediately afterwards, we'll be heading over to Train from TUD, and I'm glad I see more Train. I like Train.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Drain. I actually, like, in organized play, I love it, but you know, in your solo queues, in matchmaking, or in any of these other matchmaking services like Face It, ESEA, I'm not a huge fan of Train because it does require very heavy organized play to be effective, especially on the T side.
Yeah.
The CTs can get away with a lot in that more kind of pug style setup. But I think when both teams come into Train with a set strategy, I think it's a fantastic map to watch. And that will then bring us into Overpass if we need all three maps, which personally I'm hoping we do.
Right. And as we see everyone is in the buy zone, I'm going to very quickly run through the last of these bans. Immediately afterwards, the pair of bans were Nuke from WIT and Dust 2 from TUD, meaning no one wants to play Dust 2 on mainstream. No one wants to do it. No one wants to mess up Dust 2 on mainstream. So that means that if we go to a third map, and I really want there to be a third map, we will be playing it on Overpass. But we can analyze that to death later on as the matches continue. Right now, we have started the first round of Mirage, and WIT are going to pull out a very classic B rush, finding 3 kills, 4 kills.
Oh no, this is an absolute disaster. Big gamble from WIT, but it's not going to pay off in this round. In a 1 versus 4, Cass will be the one to finish it out, and that's a very clean start to Mirage for the CTs. That's one of those rounds, Nasparad, where you kind of just put all your chips on green, right? You just go all in and say, you know what, we're going to start this out, put a bit of pressure on TUD on the CT side. If it works, it looks great. If it doesn't, you got the Desert Eagle force buy in the following round.
Exactly. One audio issues on my end, but it's all sorted now. Yeah, exactly. We've seen the B rush coming out from so many teams on the T side on Mirage, and you know it is very much a gamble. You know, if you happen to win the headshot duels, you're sorted for a light by second round. But when it doesn't work out, it's still very doable. Kerbenji with a lovely headshot onto Arik from mid box. Gonna deny the short position, and then that smoke grenade is gonna lock Haz out of window room. It's looking like this is starting to set up for a B take, but the positioning of the players over by A seems to beg to differ, as Nier manages to drop Adam with a deagle down A ramp. This deco working out very well for WIT this early at this point.
That's a very uncharacteristic whiff from Adam JC. You would always expect him to pick up that kill with the SMG, and now look at this rotation. They're all moving towards the B side of the map. Cass is the only defender here, and he's out looking towards mid. He has found some extra information, but no, WIT, they've decided to go back. They're leaving it quite late in the round, but I think this is the correct call. Now bringing over Ventake as well. They're convinced it's going to be a B take. The nades will give it away, however. But WIT, they're down on firepower. It's all going to be about the timing, the spacing, and when they decide to execute, the smoke comes out. Ventake has started to move back towards the site. He's going to get here in time, just in time for the push. Kerbenji has also found himself an SMG, but Ventake says no. His HP is just too low to really take on more than one. Flash is now on the receiving end of Raz with the Desert Eagle, bringing it to a one-on-one. This is winnable for WIT, and what a round to do it. But with 10 seconds left, the bomb will have to go down. And now Nier has also come in support. He's backed off the correct play. They've got the bomb down. Cass is in a very tricky scenario.
It's indeed, and after these mind games of WIT, Cass may not be able to know where the player is. He will find Raz in Firebox, leaving just Nier to defend this bomb, but the paranoia of where they could be positioning has already convinced Cass to check every position possible. He knows he's vaguely near T spawn, but he doesn't know exactly where. And Nier sitting in Palace, he's waiting for that diffuse sound, and Kaz doesn't have the time unless he can fake it and take Nier down. Now it's just a matter of having a kit, which he does.
That's a wonderful retake from Cass. Absolute perfection. He checked all the angles and made sure he had enough time at the end to tap the bomb. WIT, I think, a little bit unlucky there, but also it's a lose-lose scenario, right? Once that bomb gets tapped, you have to tap it. Maybe give it a couple more seconds, maybe play the fake, but Unfortunately for WIT, it's not going to work out for them. That's a wonderful 1v2 from Cass. He did only have the FAMAS as well, and 56 HP. Those deagles can be lethal in that HP range, but showing why
Look
they
at this
deserve
early
it on
aggression from
semi-finals already.
Vente. Massive early aggression from Vente, chasing down Connector and immediately finding the first kill. Kaz is there to pick up a second through window, and already horrible damage being done to WIT on this, which is supposed to be a nice deciding round. It's the first gun round, and they've already lost a good chunk of their weapons and utility, and as well as a massive swathe of map control. They have absolutely no one on mid now, and TD are already pushing risky positions. Flash is going to find Raz in the apartments, meaning that poor 11, who it looks like he wasn't planning on rotating through there towards B, is going to have to decide what he's going to do. Just down to Adzo as far as WIT is concerned, to get a foothold into A, and Ventake says no. It's a 1v5, poor 11.
All on his lonesome, 55 seconds left and only a Galil in hand. This is... it was a tough economic decision for WIT, right? They came into this with a lot of Galils, not a huge amount of util. But on the flip side, TUD also couldn't fully purchase because they lost so many players in the last round. 11th will make his way towards the B site, but at this point, his objective is to just take some of these weapons away. If he can find 1 or 2 kills before he goes down, even maybe finding a bomb plant off the back of that, that would be mission success in the eyes of WIT. I don't think he's going to have much say in it, as Cass has got the angle locked down, but timing could be everything here if he moves across at the wrong moment. But no, a valiant effort from 11th. He did deal significant damage to Cass, but Cass doesn't miss those.
As you say, that's a big run for both teams, and unfortunately that's going to just... well, I'm not going to say break the back of WIT's economy, as they're very clearly getting, like, decoing back into this. They've got armor, they've got a CZ on 11th, and they've got a couple flashbangs. They're not entirely out of it yet. The confidence they're moving towards Palace, this is looking like it's going to be a very strong A take, but I have a feeling that the Apes are not going to be deterred by this.
This is going to be very explosive. It's all going to be down to who hits the opening shots. Adam and Cass have been activated. Such a dynamic AWPer on the CT side. That Molotov not quite going to land on its mark, and it will allow them to get the bomb down. Cass will be the one to pick that up with the incendiary, and now it's just shooting fish in a barrel near. Not quite good enough, but I mean, you've got to take what you can at this point. They don't have a stable economy built up on the T side as of yet. Just getting that bomb down with the Desert Eagles. They picked up Adam JC in the meantime. That, to me, is a decent round from WIT, but we're now 4-0 in favor of TUD. They're going to have to start bringing more competitive rounds to the table sooner rather than later, Nasparad.
Yeah, this is where, honestly, by the time you start hitting the six round mark, but you even start threatening to hit the 6th round mark, if you're still on the 0, if you still haven't got off the scoreboard, you're still sitting on 0, you have to start quaking in the boots and wondering, like, is this map already screwed or what? But it looks like WIT gonna bring a lot more utility back into this. They're fully bought up, so this is what they saved for. They're gonna have to make this round count. Couple players now. Adam JC over on TUD is out of money. His teammates could buy him in, but having to do that means some nice economic strain on TUD, which WIT really need to start putting up now. Whether that's through kills or just awkward positioning or costing utility where they don't have to. They really have to make this round count. Arect is going to start dashing these hopes. That quick peek onto Adzo at share is going to mean that WIT are now player down. Kerbenji through the smoke onto Adam JC. That's a brilliant kill. That's going to open up A site entirely, although most of the fighting is still happening down mid.
An advantage now back in favor for WIT as well. They're going to collect the bomb and bring it over towards the B site, which is left very, very lonely. Only Arect here to really defend it, and other players are so far away. Their rotate is going to take quite some time. If this push comes in quickly, Arect is going to have a lot on his plate to deal with. Cass is now also checking mid again, spots nobody, and he's going to move himself back. But they have no idea where WIT are. They haven't pushed forward. When players like Flash and Arect have to sit back on the site, there's only so much info they can garner. And now Arect, he is going to be the sole defender here. Cass is on the way. The cat's out of the bag. Pre-fire from Kerbenji's not going to land, but Near does pick one up before he goes down. Make that a second, his 3rd for the round, leaving just Flash all on his own. He's not going to be able to deny the plant, but is he going to find the 2nd kill? Yes, he will. Flash then also is going to get the defuse and save Cass's AWP. That is a wonderful 1v2 again from TUD, and we're only 5 rounds in.
Some unfortunate positioning caught out on top of the van there, and absolutely perfect spray control. Well, I'm going to say perfect spray control. I didn't get to watch all of it, but Flash just dominating the last two Terrorist players. That's another round for TUD. And yeah, if you're WIT, you have to start really wondering. I'm wondering, when is the tac pause coming in? Because I'm feeling a tac pause.
Yeah, it's always a question when you're on the receiving end of, you know, a 0 to 5 or 0 to 6 scoreline. How long do you leave it before you need to have a chat? Because clearly they've had time in these warm-up periods before the round to maybe switch it up a little bit. But at the same time, that's really the first competitive round we've seen from WIT where they had all the equipment that they needed. Already, they've given up another player in round number 6 with Kerbenji going down, and he's typically one of the players you want to see alive in the later portions of the round for WIT just because of how lethal he can be. But he's going to be watching this one from the sidelines.
A fortunate friendly fire incident with Kerbenji leaving near on 64 HP and possibly costing a bit of an opportunity to take a shot at Kaz, who did eventually find him down mid window with that AWP. As we now get into the slow phase, we need a pick. We need to even up this man advantage before WIT can really hope to start breaching these bomb sites, and TUD in too many good positions. Raz will find one on the flash, although Kaz will immediately retreat back on the near, keeping the player advantage in the favor of TUD. And it looks like plan has been decided, the bomb's been retrieved, and yeah, it's looking like going to be an A take.
Players now all the way back in T-spawn. Looks like the beginning of the round right now, but they're missing 2 players for their trouble. Just Adzo 11th and Raz still alive. And look at this setup from TUD. They've got presence towards Dark. They've got a player in CT. Kaz is ready and waiting to support from jungle. As soon as that smoke is going to land, that's also going to spur Arak to move across as well. This is going to be very tough from WIT as Adzo goes down, and now Adam JC has been activated. It's just shooting fish in a barrel. Mops that one up for a 6th round. TUD only losing 1 player in the process as well.
Yeah, it's not looking good if you're WIT, to put it very simply. It's not looking good. I have a feeling they're good. Well, first off, they just need to hit shots. You know, you can't let Adam JC swing out of dark for the 5th time in a row and take your head off. Like, you really need to have a plan to get rid of him. They had the smokes down. If they had a decent Molotov ready to get into dark, they could maybe have at least forced him out a little early into a bad spot, but it's not going to be what happens. And unfortunately, it's going to cost them the round. Look at the stack over towards B. Adzo on his own with his Deagle, trying to find the player who's watching, which will be Flash. These grenades gonna give away the position, but Flash fucking rolling by Van. He's gonna have Near standing on his head. He's gonna be able to find 2 kills. Unfortunately, no more. And Raz and 11th are going to find kills of their own. It's evening up to a 3v3, and the rotates are coming in strong. Ventig narrowly missing the shot on 11th, but look, you can't hit literally every shot when you're double upping.
Yeah, that Molotov holding Cass in place for so long. We're in a 3-on-3, but now it is all on this retake from TUD. They've done it twice already. Do they have it in them for a 3rd? It looks like they will. Kerbenji with just the Tech 9. He does also get the dink, but it's not enough. Unfortunately for him, even though they'd found a couple of kills, he wasn't in a position to retrieve any of that weaponry before they had to set up for their post plant. And TUD now 7-0. This is a very one-sided affair already, but when I look at WIT, it's very hard for me to consider this a 0-7 scoreline for them when they haven't had that many rounds with all the kit and equipment that they would like to have. So these gun rounds are becoming even more important as we get later into this half.
Although TUD not slowing down a little bit, Adam JC pushing that early aggression to Pallet's going to find Kerbenji, which, as you said, that's a big fragger on the side of WIT, knocked out before he even got a chance to fire. Ventig will find another in the underground, and already we're back to a 3-player count for WIT, and they haven't even taken any real map control. The TUD are just pushing aggressive angles exactly where WIT can't sustain them. Adzo will eventually find Adam JC, but unfortunately Ventake is there to make sure that that advantage doesn't get exploited. Just near
WIT are so spread.
They know you can tell players are a team is discomfortable when they're able to play almost autonomously like this and still coordinate on things like bomb retakes just like that.
Absolutely. I think this is just a showing of the experience TUD have from playing together. O'Near was getting a little bit messy, but does find the kill. 3 players still left alive for TUD. They're not going to start to feel the pressure quite yet. Bomb nowhere to be seen. Oh, this is a very ballsy play from 11th. He is going to pay for that one with his life. You got to give him an A+ for effort. Now Near, he's been the sole performer from WIT so far, and he's got a big job to do here. Ooh, great headshot onto Arak, though. Let's not write this round off too soon. Flash will be the one to quell those dreams just a little bit. WIT still yet to pick up their first round, but I feel like I've been talking a lot about WIT not being able to get into this game, Nasparad, but honestly, this is all up to TUD. They are just such a force to be reckoned with. Since they've got this double up setup ready to go, and they've got obviously the confidence to take these kind of peaks, there's no stopping them.
Well, look, a lot of the time it's coming down to just pure perfect, or if not perfect, near perfect spray control. Like even in that final fight against Near, he had the angle on Flash, and I'd say had Flash missed even 1 or 2 rounds, Near would have had that. But unfortunately, his spray control just absolutely on point, making you know, even the nanosecond it would have taken to get another AK round out too long. Well, hey, look at this. It's perfect sight take. Absolutely textbook from WIT. They have lost a player in the meantime, although they have managed to find 2. And then the bomb is planted. The smokes are clearing up now, and Bentake will be able to find 1 on 11, which is unfortunate. He'll wallbang Adzo through Firebox. He got the plant down. His job is done, but he won't be able to play the close plant. And look at these kills. Raz and Kerbenji able to take down Flash and Bentake, meaning that Kaz is the last TUD player standing. That very risky push did not work out, and now it is a 1v1. Kerbenji and Raz. Oak's going to buy him enough time to move, and this fake may fake out Kerbenji, and it does. Kaz able to win the 1v2, get the bomb defused, and put it into a 9-0 scoreline.
That must be absolutely heartbreaking for WIT. They do everything right, and they still lose. Cass, 11-1. This is an absurd performance from the TUD Opper. I mean, you could not ask more of a player in any sort of clutch scenario. No matter what the scoreline looks like, no matter how much the man advantage goes in favor of WIT, as long as there's one player alive on TUD, you can never write them out of the round.
Especially when players make shots like that. You may have just caught that last second. Kaz managed to see the edge of a silhouette through the smoke, and Near with the return spray will actually take down Arak. These trades going either way, and apparently no one needs to see their targets to hit them. You say Kaz doing absolutely amazing work. Not many players able to push a smoke, use a smoke, and then perfectly execute the fake like that. Especially against a player like Kerbenji, who, let's be real, isn't a bad player. He's pretty scary. No,
Kerbenji is, from what we've seen, going on statistics, Kerbenji is the highest rated player in the server tonight, I believe. And that's a feat in its own right. That's absolutely absurd. But look at him now, 3 kills, 9 deaths. This is not the Kerbenji that we've seen throughout group play and in the playoffs so far. Clearly something is going wrong for WIT, and maybe against lesser opposition they'd be able to weasel their way back into this game, but not when it's up against TUD. And there's Adam JC with the first frag. He's going to shut down the initial push, and now the rest of the entry fraggers have to come through for WIT. It's a 3-on-3, but Near is only on 4 HP, and now 11th is also going to take some damage from his teammate. This is very sloppy from WIT, and TUD now, retake mode has been activated. Flash also finding 1 frag of his own, and now Kerbenji left all on his lonesome. He's rotated back around, but he's not even going to get there in time to contest the defuse. WIT throwing everything they have in the kitchen sink, but it's just not enough.
Great position from Kerbenji, couldn't have come at a worse time, unfortunately, and he almost took Kaz's head off at the end there with that AK, but unfortunately not able to find a shot. It's just going so badly for WIT. Not like it's, and as you said before, it's just WIT playing extremely well. That's the problem, really. Bentake doesn't miss these shots, and he will find the first kill on the Adzo down mid again. You think WIT would start learning to throw these smokes a little better, but unfortunately it's going to cost them yet another player.
Yeah, this is the type of play where, again, against lesser opposition, you're not going to get punished for a misaligned smoke or a gap in a mid-take. But against TUD, they will abuse that sort of mistake every single round, and they've done it now for 10 rounds in a row. Even when WIT looked so good, it just wasn't quite enough. And in this round, They've got the man disadvantage yet again up against Ventake, Flash, and Aract. Each of them a scary prospect in their own right. With 60 seconds left, WIT might even use this round just to have a little bit of a discussion for the last couple of rounds of the half. Bear in mind, Nasparad, this is WIT's map pick.
This is the one they're supposed to actually be comfortable on, and it's not working out that way. Look at this positioning from Near and Flash. This flash grenade doing some work. Thankfully, Near's able to find the kill on the Flash, putting it into a 2v2. Although, look at the health difference between the remaining two players on both sides. 36 and 26 on WIT, and 200s over on TUD. If there's any question on who's in the better position, then I'd have to go with the Opera sitting in kitchen right here.
Ventake is going to have one shot to make it count. Aract, on the other hand, has found Near, leaving Raz now all on his own. All Ventake has to do is just stay alive, ready for the support to arrive. Raz finds one and Aract gets there just in time. Yet again, the hopes and dreams of the Wit Vikings just absolutely extinguished in the dying moments of the round, and TUD just show no signs of stopping. I can't see anything in this half, at least, where WIT are going to be able to switch it up enough to pull more than maybe 1 or 2 rounds if they're lucky at this point.
Yeah, at this point they're gonna have to hope for a miracle, or, well, I guess a mistake from TUD is about as miraculous as you get in this tournament, really. Referencing a B take, and here we are, WIT challenging mid again, and I really hope they threw that smoke grenade properly, because otherwise Kaz is gonna just delete people through it. Managed to force him off with use of flashbangs and more smoke, so able to push at least a little bit up the way mid, and Kerbenji showing us what he can do when he gets the chance. He will immediately find a kill onto Ventake, despite the fact Kaz has managed to take down Adzo. Aract on short, trying to find a player through the smoke and the pillar, but not able to get to close the kill out. He's got Adam JC to cover him, though, as Adam's going to take down Kerbenji, and this fight over short is just going to keep going. Kaz taking down 11th. I believe that is Raz sitting in the corner at the bench, trying to survive with his life, but Aract and Kaz have had enough of WIT in mid.
You couldn't ask for a worse position to get stuck in on the T side. Right underneath window, there's like 6 different angles that you've got to be wary of there, and with very little utility to get them out of that tricky situation. It is just the firing line for WIT, and they're almost at the end of the road in this half. 13 rounds in, still yet to get on the board. This is going to be another attempt. This will be a fast A push, and this time they will find some sort of footing on the bomb site, but Ventake has not gone down quite yet, and he finds another kill before he will drop, leaving Cass, Adam JC, and Aract in a 1 versus 3, and they quickly quell that storm. A 13th round for TUD Apes. And Nasparad, look, we talked about this earlier in the half. We said, you know what, when's the timeout going to come through? When are they going to start to maybe try and stop some of this momentum from the CT side? But they have decided against it so far, and now we're almost at the end of the first half.
A little bit of an interesting message from Kerbenji in chat. Map 2 is where it's I think they may be a little bit defeated on this map at the moment, and honestly with the stiff opposition, it's hard to disagree with them. Kerbenji and Raz able to find the first 2 kills onto site. Near will find a third, and this is a 2v2. Actually, this is a 2v1. Adam JC is a scary player, but there is hope. They could lock this away, although he will find Raz, who was unfortunately the bomb carrier. It's just Near left, and where's he off to? Is he repositioning the jungle? No, he's going to jungle. For a minute there, I thought maybe the rotates that WIT have been so fond of may have tricked him out, and unfortunately Near is not picking up on this. No. He's checking the wrong positions. Oh no.
He's taking this so slowly. He has no idea. If he waits long enough, he might hear the footsteps from behind, but Near has absolutely no clue about what is waiting, what is lurking in the T spawn for him in just a couple of moments. Near, he needs to check behind him. Adam JC has played this perfectly. He hasn't made a sound, and that's going to be, I thought the knife was about to come out, but no, Adam JC doesn't play with my emotions for too much longer, and that's a 14th round. Near is... He's just going to be absolutely flabbergasted that could actually happen, and he had no idea it was coming.
Yeah, it's not a fun time to be in a position where the enemy team can so confidently style on you by walking all the way through your spot. Hang on, Arak, why did you buy an M249? Arak,
That
put
man's got
gun
money to
away.
burn. He has got money to burn. This is a classic TUD. They are so confident in their play that they will start to go with the off-meta weaponry as well, just to rub salt in the wound, as if WIT weren't a wounded animal at this point. They're just going to continue to pile on that pressure. Look at the damage from that single nade. Adam JC kicks us off in the last round of the half with an opening kill. Ventig is already on the flank and Nier is not prepared for it. They've done well to find 2 kills so far, but 2 kills are not enough. They need to find more. Jumping through, Flash finds one, swaps to the AK, he finds another, drops the bomb, and Arak, in TUD fashion, will close us out with an M249 frag.
Well, that was horrifyingly fast. That's all I got.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, Nasparad. What do you say about that? How do you analyze this sort of play? This is, I believe someone in Twitch chat even said this is not CT sided, it's just TUD sided. They're just on another level at this point. I struggle to put into words what this must be like for WIT. They've come all this way to get into the semi-finals, and now on their map pick, they're potentially facing a 16-0. To put it into context, WIT have only lost one map in this tournament so far against UL Esports, I believe. That's an insane showing for any team, but putting them in the semi-final against TUD, and they just look so out of their depth.
Oh, you gotta love the OG bunny hopping. Raz is completely confused as to where to find the player. Nier and Benji will be able to find 3 between them, but now Ventake and Flash are on the side. Ventake's got one, Flash got another. Ventake able to find another in 11th. It's a 2v2. You guys can do this. Little headshot onto Adzo with the Glock is not going to kill him, but it's going to knock him down fairly significantly. And it's Ventake and Flash on the side. The bomb will go down. Nier playing the close angle, trying to click on these heads. The great point-and-click adventure game will go in the favor of Flash, and Ventake will take down Adzo. 16-0 to TUD.
Oh my days. It actually happened. It actually happened. I'm at a loss for words. I take my hat off to TUD because...
Exactly.
Of course, WIT must be gutted going into Train now, which is their opponent's map pick, and they didn't put up a single round. But yet... there's only so much you can do. TUD had the plot armor in that map 100%. There was multiple 1vx scenarios that they still managed to clutch and defuse the bomb. That's an absurd showing, and they have just solidified for all our viewers at home why they are back-to-back-to-back champions. Because they want that final spot, and they want a 4th title more than anyone else, and they're not going to take their foot off the gas going into Train.
Exactly. I mean, if I have any advice for any teams who were in the tournament and aren't here, for anyone who can't be in the tournament for various reasons, or anyone who's eyeing up being in the future, and maybe WIT as well. I'm not going to be too mean, but maybe WIT needs to do this too. Watch how TUD play and learn from it. If there's one thing I have to say about some of this, it's the way they're using their rotates, especially on Mirage. It's such a rotate heavy map, and WIT very clearly in the beginning we're hoping to trick them out. We're hoping to make some noise on one side, get a kill on another, and then, you know, double trick them, go back to the first side. But it just doesn't work when you're as coordinated as TUD is, and that's really something that if you're planning on playing at a high level, you're gonna start needing to learn how to do this and do it consistently and effectively.
Yeah, this is the bar to set. TUD have shown the level that you need to bring if you want to contest for the title of ICE CSGO champion. And so far, they haven't put a foot wrong. Whether it's come down to a 1vx scenario or a clean sweep on the CT side of Mirage, we'll have to wait and see what they can bring to the table on the T side of Train. But with that said, Nasparat, I think we're going to go to a short break while the players get ready for map number 2 of this semi-final, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Boop. All right, welcome back everybody to our second map of the TUD versus WIT Counter-Strike semi-finals with me, Nasperad, and our good friend Cardinal, who needs to come over to the Counter-Strike chairs more.
That's a very nice compliment. Thank you, Nasparad. Yeah, I don't get to hop on the casting desk as much this split as I normally do, but hopefully that'll change in the future. We are back with the second map of this first semi-final tonight. We've got a double header on, of course, TUD versus WIT first, and we will have the Ulster Unicorns squaring off against UCDA Leviathans right after this. So do be sure to stick around to find out who will secure those 2 spots in the grand final this evening. But I mean, normally we would take this as an opportunity to kind of break down the last map while the players are warming up, but there's not really much to say.
No, when you're playing against TUD and you lose 16-0, I mean, what more can we say than, yeah, TUD are good, and yeah, we agree, guys, they're pretty good.
Do you think that WIT are going to let that affect their mental going into map 2?
I think if they're going to be downhearted, it's going to take a small victory to get it back. Just one good bomb site execute, one good kill against a good player. If they manage, if whoever's opping, if Cavendish or something manages to op out Kaz early on in the round, that's probably just going to be enough to bring it back in. Like, because really, I mean, you can't be, like, there's losing to teams that are evenly skilled as you, and then there's losing to TUD. It's a different story entirely, and even the small victories are gonna feel amazing. Especially when, you know, the tiny mistakes from last round were kind of what cost you rounds, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And TUD are firing on all cylinders. Just in the small break that we had, both myself and Nasparad were discussing that TUD don't even look like they are putting 100% effort in, right? They seem to be very relaxed, very calm. They're confident in taking all the duels, and there's going to have to be a big switch up in momentum before they will start to lose that confidence and maybe start to worry about their position in this semi-final. But for now, it is the TUD show. One of the players for WIT that I need to see a bigger showing from here is Kerbenji. We said it in the last map. He's the highest rated player in the event that's still playing in the playoffs. And he was very, very quiet on Mirage. I'm not sure whether he's feeling a bit uncomfortable or whether that mentality started to go out the window once it was 10, 12, 13 rounds to 0. But let's hope for WIT's sake that he's able to reset, come into train, and approach it with a fresh mindset. They need to start off strong here, because otherwise we could see a repeat of map number 1.
If you saw the chat at the beginning, you know Kerbenji's ready to play, and he's going to be the first to engage. He's going to put a lot of damage on the flash without taking too much in return, and he will find the first kill for WIT, but unfortunately will be immediately shut down by Kaz. But it's alright, because Adzo and 11th are here to pick up the slack. It's the first round, and they're looking so much better than the previous map. Adzo's not able to find the kill on Kaz. He will do significant damage, but it's still a 2v1. Kaz has stiff odds here. WIT did make it to this far in the tournament. They deserve to be here, and now is the time to show us how much they deserve it.
Kaz was in a similar position on Mirage, and he was able to deliver. He's got plenty of time, but not too much HP to play with. 32 remaining. However, 11th is actually about to run out of ammo. He's going to have to swap weapons in just a second if he can find a replacement. Only 2 bullets left. There it is. He's also got himself a Desert Eagle somehow. Now he's going to take the wall bang through E-Box and secures the round with a body shot to Cass. That's what WIT needed. They needed a strong start, and now is the time more than ever to capitalize on this. They've got the SMGs, they've got the rifles, they have utility. Do not allow TUD to force by with Deagles and to even the scoreboard. This is a crucial round for the overall context.
If you're curious like me and you've actually been watching the in-game chat, this is exactly what I meant. A small victory is going to bring them back into the game, and you can see how excited everyone is on the WIT side. They're ready to win. They've won 1 round and they're ready to win. And here comes 11, getting the first kill on the flash, proving that very, very quickly. Bentig will get some damage onto, I believe that was 11, but he won't be able to find the kill. Pardon me, it was Kerbenji. They are ready for this pop dog drop, even though it's not going to happen. Adzo will find a kill onto Venteg, and look at that, near finding Adam JC on the B ramp. He'll find another onto Kaz, and this is exactly it. Arik has the Deagle, a dream, $0 on a bomb, but he's up against 5 WIT Vikings players, and they have SMGs, and they're not scared of him.
This is going to be most likely another round for WIT, I would imagine. 60 seconds left. The drop into Pop Dog will not net any damage onto the WIT lineup. And that's a clean sweep for the CT side as well. That'll give them a chance to have a little bit of a bonus round. They're going to keep those FAMASs and the SMGs, it looks like. And this is the point where if they can pick this round up again, they'll be in a fantastic position for the remainder of the first CT half. Meanwhile, TUD, even though they do have just pistols, you can't count them out of these rounds. They're just too talented as individual players. Any small mistake from WIT will go punished. Flashbang not going to connect and losing out against the SMG. Flash will find the kill. Adzo, is the one who loses out against the pistols, I should say. And again, more damage coming through. Kerbenji now spraying with the Desert Eagle. Is he going for the knife? It looked like he was. Near will be the one to mop up the round. Only losing Adzo in the process. And WIT, although they do lose one player, it was still a clean round overall.
That smoke grenade working absolutely perfectly in Kerbenji's favor. Sometimes if you can find head height level and you know where your spray ends up, it's just a matter of pulling the spray left and right until you can land a few shots on a few heads. There you go, 3-0. Much better showing from WIT and ironically on TUD's map pick. Although now the AKs are out, Flash will find the person to Kerbenji over at E-Box, and Arak taking lesson from No Fear is just going to run right through the train yard. He will be able to find 11th after a bit of a spray down, leaving him on 9 HP. They'll find Near, and he will be able to land the killing blow. Fortune has turned, and Raz is now alone against 4 TD players, and that's not where you want to be caught holding a grenade.
No, definitely not. 3-1. TUD pick up their first round on the T side, and they will continue into the next couple of rounds now with access to the weaponry that they'd like. Cass is going to be back on the AWP on Train. Train, notoriously a map that can be dictated by a good AWPer on both the T and CT side. Meanwhile, WIT, they didn't quite build up that economy buffer that they really needed, so they will have a couple of FAMASs in this round, opting to drop an AWP for Kerbenji, but he needs to put that into practice. There's 2 players now stuck in connector, but meanwhile 11th, with the help of those flashbangs, is going to pick up multiple frags, and Flash is also on 26 HP. A 3-on-4 as Kerbenji does get quite low, but 11th is good for another one. Make that almost a 4th. Significant damage dealt, but no frag conversion. Near activated now. He helped out with the util earlier, now putting that weapon into use, leaving Cass all on his own. And got, oh dear, Near ducking right underneath. Plot armor still continuing to pay off for TUD. They lost track of him as well. No bomb to catch, but Cass lands the no-scope. Is he going to go for another? Cass, you can't do this. No way. You cannot get away with this many frags. It's down to a one-on-one against Kerbenji. He has no idea where he's coming from, but the cat's going to be out of the bag sooner rather than later. Kerbenji nails the shot straight between the eyes of Cass, and he shuts down that clutch potential for the TUD player. And that's a 4th round for WIT.
Absolutely brilliant showing from 11. The amount of damage, the amount of kills, and just the ability to hold that position for his teammates to get into nice flanking positions. Absolutely critical to that victory. And I gotta say, if that train was turned slightly more, and Kerbenji couldn't see the foot of Kaz, that could have gone very differently. But another round for WIT, 4-1, and as always, absolutely no fear and no rushing on either side. Kerbenji on 1 HP from that spray from Arak. Of course, yeah, No Fear has been teaching Arak how to do things, and he's going to run right through and take down the top fragger over on the WIT side. Well, yeah, same time. TUD and Adam, and I believe that it's Flash are just going to rush out onto A side, get that bomb planted after the poor Vikings have been convinced to rotate. The job has been done too well, and now TUD Apes have full control of A bomb site. Just a matter of winning these aim duels. Flash will find the person over near Ivy. Arak sitting in Pop Dog, just going to delete 11th from the game, and it is just Raz who unfortunately is going to fall on the wrong side of Arak's AWP. Look,
that's going to be a tough one to swallow.
Yeah, well, it wasn't going to be an easy game now, in fairness. TUD are still TUD.
Correct. Yes, I definitely do agree. WIT had a great showing in the start of that round, but I think they've now fallen into the trap, especially last round, of being maybe a little bit too proactive. That was a very fast rotate to the B site, and it allowed TUD total outside map control and a very easy bomb plant as well. Now, going into round number 7, initial kill will go the way of TUD. Make that a second as Flash is uncontested and takes down 11th and Kerbenji. Not a huge investment in this round from WIT. They just don't have the funds, and it should be TUD back to within 1 round on the scoreboard. But already, this is a much more competitive affair than Mirage.
Near not able to get that dry peek from Adam. Raz will be able to find him with advanced warning, and Kaz coming around the corner with that SMG is going to lock out the round and take that AK back for the Apes. Yeah, unfortunately the deco not going the way of WIT, but I mean, I'm bouncing between saying you can't count out the Deagles and they only had Deagles, so yeah, no. The early picks going towards TUD definitely, like, when you can lock out a bomb site that quickly against an eco-wing team, what's the eco-wing team to do, really?
Yeah, that's why Train is so vital to have that utility. The Molotovs and smoke grenades especially, they're just so paramount in shutting down rushes exactly like this Ventake. Now there's 3 very fast frags, and he's going to swing out for more with only 11 HP, but it doesn't matter as Adam and Flash mop up the round. You just can't stop that aggression when you don't have the Molotovs and you don't have the smokes to dissuade that sort of T-side aggression. WIT have been able to do it when they've had the funding, but now they've lost a couple of rounds. They've actually, no, TUD have called a timeout, but
oh, don't do this to
this
me,
gives
lads.
us a little bit of time to kind of break down the opening rounds of this half. So it is 4-4. WIT looking much better, but like you said, Nasparad, this was never going to be an easy map. They were never going to be delivered this on a plate. TUD will use every tool in their arsenal to get themselves back into this map.
No, they never was. And as you said before, Kerbenji needing to show up. Hang on, wait a minute, I'm being confused now. Kerbenji really did need to show up, and he is starting to do that. If anything, he's getting a little bit too risky in some of these early pushes. But 11th in particular is actually currently sitting on top of WIT's leaderboard with 10 kills. He's actually the top fragger the entire game. But we were saying that Kerbenji was the highest rated player in the tournament of the surviving teams thus far. We would be loath to point out that TUD have a lot of those top ranking players as well. So it really comes down to the rest of WIT to pick it up, and here we are. Adzo finding 2 kills immediately out of Pop Dog, and he found himself an AK. This is the stuff we need to see. Kerbenji is the scary player. He's a bit like Big Old Doggo earlier on in the tournament, but WT cannot rely completely on one player, and players like 11th are going to have to start showing up big time to support Kerbenji and the hopes of staying in the tournament. And already these early kills have chilled TUD. It's now a picks game. They need to try and find a couple cheeky kills in order to gain enough map control to get a nice consolidated push. Look at this spread, completely opposite ends of the map. Adam, unfortunately, going to be caught out by 11th just as he looked like he was about to go in for the kill. And it looks like its decision to prioritize the B site is going to have everyone rotating over. Vente's going to spot the player, but with the Molotov in his hand, he's not going to be able to get the shot out. Near will find Aract, but not able to find the kills at that long range. And no bomb has been planted. It looks like a few calls have been made, and slowly you can see the rotates are coming out. Aract will find the first on the Adzo in the upper area. Unfortunately, the trades are going to start going back. 11th at this close range position is going to be the main blocking force to try and stop this plan, especially if Vente is going to take Near's head off from halfway across the map. And thankfully, Kerbenji and 11th are here to surround and take down the player.
Very, very well done from WIT to hold on to that round. It was starting to look a little bit scary. We were in a 2-on-5. Aract got a kill, Vente gets another, and all of a sudden that's a winnable scenario for this TUD lineup. But WIT held strong, and they spaced themselves correctly to trade those frags, and they put themselves back in the lead with just 1 round in the difference. WIT, a good showing from them. And these Molotovs, oh no, Aract stuck in between a rock and a hard place coming into round number 10. Not going to go down, but significant damage has been dealt. Expecting Adzo to be there, potentially common spot for the WIT defender to play from, and he's going to be punished for it now. Man advantage in favor of TUD coming into this round. Near trades one back, but not before Aract can take him out. 11th holding strong from the bomb train. There's a double kill. Very quick frags coming through. Kerbenji also been activated, leaving Adam on his own, and that's a quick round number 10.
Gotta love this. I'm loving this now. This is now my favorite state of play. This back and forward play. Even if the rounds aren't being traded one for one, at least the kills are. Karbenji sitting in a smoke like that, right in the mists of TUD. You gotta love these when the game comes down to these kind of plays. Bit confident there to throw away a flashbang. It's good to see though. Is Arik doing this again? Arik's doing this again. He hasn't got an op and he refuses to sit still. This Deagle is going to take on Adzo and he's going to get the kill. Well,
This has fallen apart for WIT. What's happened?
they've just lost A site. Turns out if you give Arik the Deagle, he just manages to clear A site. Raz is on his own in CT spawn. He may put, yeah, he'll see Ventake's head. He'll get a bit of damage, but Ventake had an op. Unfortunately, the op wins.
Yeah, you've got to be very, very clinical with those shots up against an AWP as prolific as Ventake's, and that's going to be his 10th frag under his belt as we get into round number 12. WIT have been doing well on the CT side, but I think going into the second half, they'd like to have at least a couple more rounds to give themselves that buffer. T side of Train, obviously notoriously difficult, and TUD will be happy with 5 rounds so far, regardless. Ventake opening us up with a kill. This is a double up setup on the T side. This is a very, very confident purchase from the T side. And now 11th, he is able to get one shot off. Adam goes down, but the quick trade allows them to get the bomb planted, leaving Raz all on his own for the CT side. So far, he's only had 1 frag in this half, and he is in a very tricky scenario with just a USP. If he can even salvage a weapon, that would be a win in WIT's book, but it looks like TUD will even up the scoreline yet again.
Or Raz trying to fish for remaining weapons. Unfortunately, everyone, I believe, was fragged over in the other end of the map, so he's probably not going to find anything unless he manages to get a bit of a cheeky exit frag, which isn't going to happen as everyone retreats out through T spawn. I gotta give it to 11th for being able to find that headshot. The nanosecond he himself got headshotted. Let's say it's the small victories, both in this both in the larger scale of trying to win maps, but also in the scale of trying to put a bit of a dent in TUD's economy, which you can kind of see. Adam JC is only sitting on $100. He wasn't able to buy any utility, so it's cold comforts, but it's something.
Yeah, and what's bizarre is the fact that both his teammates have plenty of money to drop him a rifle if he needed that utility, but TUD obviously confident in their ability to just frag out, and they're not really too concerned about everyone having the kit and equipment that they could possibly need, just as demonstrated by Flash as he takes the head and shoulders off of Near and goes for another, but it's Adam JC this time, finding 11th, traded by Karbenji, but he has got to have his head on a swivel here. So many positions he needs to be weary of. Cass will try to take him on and goes down in the process. He's still healthy. He can still continue to fight, but Ventake and Flash are up. Make that just Ventake in a 1-on-2 now. Adzo and Karbenji need to be very, very careful against this AWP. Shoulder peek not gonna connect for Ventake as he retrieves the bomb, and he's gonna sit on his hands here and just run down this clock. Let WIT make the mistake. He's trying to bait out the push towards B, but I don't think WIT have taken the bait quite yet.
Just as you say that, the cache is cursed. There's a retreat coming in. They're going to fall back to the back of the site, which unfortunately is where the AWP can be its most deadly. But Karbenji, seeing that coming, is already putting himself in an elevated position, and they're going to be able to find the last kill. Round back to WIT. I mean, considering they lost their map pick of Mirage so decisively, the fact that they're trading rounds with TUD on TUD's map pick is just amazing to see.
And so far in this half, nobody has won more than 3 rounds in a row. It's been very, very back and forth, and this is still anyone's map to win. This is maybe a little bit disappointing from the perspective of WIT because they just didn't have any chance on the CT side, just like Arak will have no chance in this round. Immediately dispatched via the flashbang from Karbenji's teammate. 11th dropped to 27 HP as Adzo picks up another frag, but they're not going to be expecting the push from Popdog. Great trade from 11th. He had the awareness to know it was possible. Ventake and Cass will try and hold on to the remnants of this round. Down from a 4-on-2 to a 2v2 in the blink of an eye. as they now make their way towards the B site. It's been locked down by Cass, but I think they've had to ditch one of their AWPs for this one. Cass now on the AK. Ventate's going to be bringing that up forward. It's a very, very risky plant, but they will get it down in time. Will they spot 11th? Oh, the crosshair is just going to move over just in time, leaving Kerbenji to do what Cass did on Mirage. Is he up for the 1v2? It's going to be a very, very tall order, but if there was ever a man for WIT to get it done, it would be Kerbenji. The pre-fire comes out. They know his position. Smoke goes down. Time is ticking. No chance for Cass. Oh, no. Kerbenji so close, but post-plant set up on Train's B bomb site. Just a little bit too much for him to take on, and that will be a equalizer round for TUD.
I mean, I'm going to give that one in spirit to WIT. If anything, because that round really came down to both players spraying through smokes with AKs, so...
We've got an auto sniper.
Oh god, where? Where is he? Oh no. Kaz, put that down. Put that down, Kaz. You're not allowed to have that. Remember, this makes NA teams quit games.
Up against just desert. Oh
Ooh.
Dear. Well, that was the end of that auto sniper. Kerbenji's had enough. I don't even think he had the time to get a single shot off. And now Ventig's going to be on the receiving end of that one. He's going to be questioning his teammates' purchase decision there, because he's on the receiving end of it. Now, from the ashes, Adam JC is left in a 1-on-3, and WIT have pulled a round out of nowhere to possibly win the half, and that's going to be it. 3 kills for Kerbenji, 8-7, taking the half right at the very end. That was something else.
I joked earlier in the last map that the TUD had sent a player all the way around Mirage to shoot the last remaining WIT player in the back on a site. But I don't know. I feel like getting 1D'd by the top fragger on the other team so they can steal your auto sniper and kill your opper. that's gotta hurt something fierce.
Yeah, over on the other side of it, WIT will take those rounds every day of the week. They had 1 SMG and 4 Deagles going into the last round of the half and somehow make it work. This is why I think it's a little bit unfortunate that WIT didn't have any time on the CT side of Mirage, because they couldn't get any sort of momentum on the T side. We didn't get to see their prowess on the defense, and now they've shown that they're able to put up 8 rounds against this team. But is it too little too late as we get into the pistol round of the second half?
These all-for-one rushes don't work well sometimes, and Arik is here to show you why. 3 kills on him and 1 on Flash, making just near the last survivor of WIT with no bomb, no hope, and a Glock to his name. May have been best to slip him the bomb, lads, but unfortunately the bomb was dropped outside of Pop Dog, meaning that the rest of the round was a bit of a team deathmatch for TUD to win.
Yeah, and now we're into the meat of the things here. We're almost forgetting this is a semi-final. We've had a 16-0 on map 1. And now we're at 8-8. We've seen just as many rounds on Train as we did on Mirage. And WIT are in a position to bring us to a third map, but not if they let TUD take control of this second half. They did it on Mirage. Will they be able to replicate that form on the CT side of Train? Initial frag grenade will pick up a kill as Kerbenji will go down. One of the star players for WIT taken out of a very, very important round early on. Not a huge investment, from WIT, but we saw what they did with Desert Eagles earlier. You can't write them out of these rounds. Near was really hesitating to go for that shot there and did at least deal some damage, but I'm not sure, maybe he was waiting for it or...
Waited a bit too long for that one there. Maybe he was hoping that the player would fall back without looking at him, but yeah, unfortunately, unless you're gonna get like a triple dink in that position, it's at the very best gonna be a one and done. Well, look, it's night 8. They're still in the game, and they have some guns now. Well, I'm gonna say not ideal guns. That's TUD carrying around at the Mag 7, which, once again, can I just say, lads, put the guns down. Put the Mag 7 away.
This is going to be a very, very important round as Raz is going to push forward. He's going to be first contact to take on Ventake, who only has a pistol out. He has to win that fight with the AK-47, and he does it just about. Now, hiding in the smoke is Cass. Is he really going to try and take that fight with the Mag 7? Wins it out with the pistol regardless on 1 HP. Kerbenji and Adzo now finding frags of their own, but not before they go down. WIT have the man advantage. They've got the weaponry. This is all going to be down to Flash with that scout, and he finds the first shot. He needs to soften up these other two players. Cass is so low. He is going to have to play the positioning as he comes forward, and 11th finds the frag, leaving Flash all on his own. A big job to do here for the highest rated TUD player. Another frag comes through, and he's just made this possible, going for the AK. Time is of the essence here. He has the defuse kit, but it's a game of cat and mouse. He's much too low to take a straight up aim duel unless he lands the headshot, and 11 says no. 2 frags under his belt, puts that round to bed, and gives WIT a 9th round on the board.
I've been laughing this entire round about, I guess, the bullet slumber party happening over into the changing rooms. A smoke grenade went down. There was like 4 players standing in it, basically hitting space and mouse 1 and hoping that they walked out alive. I need that clip from the demo. I need that for highlights, for the stream highlights. But holy lord!
Excuse me? Was that a 2-for-1 with Ventake's scout? I think it was.
I don't know. Well, whatever it was a round that lasted less than 20 seconds. Reminiscing about the previous round, lad. Let me finish. Woo.
TUD going into double digits in style. That was a very strong round for them, and they've taken everything away from WIT. Look at the economy now, forced onto another eco on the T side. WIT yet to hit double digits on the board. TLD will be the first to do it, and we've seen them do great things with the pistols previously. They've got to replicate that form here, take some of this weaponry away from TUD. Double up setup for the CT side is going to be very difficult to compete against on train. But if there ever was a round to do it, WIT could do it. A little bit of luck on their side before this starts to spiral out of control. We're already into round number 20, and this map could still go either way.
Adam JC and Adzo dancing around each other for a few minutes there. Unfortunately, that shoulder peek gonna reveal the position. It will not go his way. Flash will just stroll down the back of B and find Raz and 11 before they really mount an attack. Yeah, this is TUD. They've been fed. They're awake now. WIT are going to have to redouble their efforts and get back into this game as quickly as they can, because with an economy like this, as fragile as this, it's gonna be extremely difficult to even the scoreline. Never mind get ahead and manage to lock it out with 16 wins.
This is the round for WIT. They have everything they need here now. There's no more excuses. Landing the shot onto Flash, but will be denied the kill via the metal girder in his way. 58 points of health, and Karbenji just on a sliver of HP remaining very early on in the round. He is going to have to be so careful with that AWP. This is the round for WIT Vikings. There ever was a time for them to pick up a very decisive round, it's going to be right now. 5 players still left alive, but practically no map control for the T side. Look at this positioning from the CTs. They're just all over the map, playing mostly towards A, but they've got so much map control. WIT have been forced back nearly into spawn as they make their way towards the B site, just above Pop Dog. Bomb has been retrieved by Adzo. Now they're going to make their way to B, but there's 2 players here in the form of Aract and Adam JC who are ready to come up Pop Dog immediately once the cat is out of the bag towards B. WIT have to be so clinical with this execute. They have to be clean. They have to take some of these weapons away from TUD if they want a chance at this half. And Adam JC has been activated. Cass finds Raz as well to kick things off here, and he's going to find another 11th on his own in a 1 versus 5. It falls apart in the blink of an eye for WIT. This should be a 12th round for TUD in a straight up gun round. WIT just cannot land the shots. They don't have the execute to give themselves a chance in the round, and a consolation kill from 11th will be all they bring into round number 22.
Oh, it was a nice attempt at a no-scope. I'll give Art that. Sneaky climbing up the ladder, trying to find the off no-scope from the ladder before diving back down. But yeah, just all I got to say is poor WIT. The beat just absolutely crashed against the wave break that is Kaz is off on B site. Looks like we're going for a bit of contact play now. Near to lead the charge with the deagle. Well, thankfully, no one will die just yet, though. It looks like the rotates are coming out from Aract. I think that's Kaz. Kaz is already on site. It's Flash who's rotating through connector now. Aract is now on position to try and take Near down. Flash will take down 11, who was right behind him, and unfortunately that scout's not going to save him from the AWP. Kaz playing this very close range angle. We'll find Adzo with that deagle. Bring it into a 2 versus 4, and Adam is in Pop Dog waiting for these drops, and he will find the remaining 2 players. Backup, the escape hatch was already guarded.
Yeah, this is almost an example of how well TUD played on the T side of Train, because as soon as that organization starts to fall by the wayside a little bit, once you go down a man or two in the round, it's just so hard on Train to execute without everything you need. That was another semi-eco, not really a huge amount invested into the round for WIT. Vente getting aggressive now towards Ivy, and we're back into another gun round, but the opening frag goes to the CTs yet again. TUD just will not stop, and Kerbenji trades it out, but the damage has already been done. Aract landing a no-scope on the other side of the map to take out Raz in a 4-on-2 with over 80 seconds left in the round still. This is very difficult for WIT to do anything about. They have to rely on TUD making a mistake, and this is not the team that you want to have to expect a mistake to come out from.
They're currently trapped amid Oppers sitting on top of Train. It's just about waiting for mistakes. Kerbenji may have just made one. Fortunately, he will get no-scope onto Kaz, and he will no-scope Arak for the audacity to try to knife him, but that does put him into a 2 versus 1, and with 5 HP and an AWP, he's not in an ideal position. He's not checking Pop Dog. He's not checking Pop Dog, and Adam JC is right there. Would go down to a knife as well.
They've spotted him. They know where he's going to be coming from with 5 HP. A single bullet is all he needs, and Adam JC will pick up his only frag of the round, but a crucial one nonetheless, and very unfortunate for WIT. If that had been a closer round, those 2 no-scopes from Kerbenji could have swung the round in their favor, but it was too little too late. 21 frags under his belt, but only 9 rounds on the board for WIT Vikings, and rounds are what count, especially now that we're in the semi-finals. Nasparad, this is a very dangerous scenario for the WIT squad to be in.
Is indeed. And with this spread, this aggressive push from Ventek, he's good for 2, but 2 kills is all you really need to shut down a decent aggressive push like that, and Ventek will escape, or Kerbenji will escape with his life as Flash continues to push that angle. It looks like they're going to have someone coming up from T-spawn. Mate, these grenades! Oh! Kerbenji wasn't happy in the chat with these frag grenades, managing to kill him time and time again on A ramp, and he's not going to be happy that they're killing him now in the 3v3. Just 11th left with the bomb down on A main, with both Flash and Adam JC just being able to just stand on top of it, grenades in hand. He's going to try push through B. He's going to try go the long way, avoid Pop Dog, which is currently being pelted by grenades and Molotovs, but look at the time, Cardinal. Only got 45 seconds left. If this is deathmatch now, there's no way he's getting that bomb planted.
No, 11th is in a very tricky place here. The longer the clock goes, the less potential for this to be a reality. He does have the AK in hand, only 1 Molotov against Adam, JC, and Flash. Adam at this point is going to be all about that info. He will be happy to give his life if it means they find 11th with just 1 bullet between him and certain death. As long as they find 11th and see where he's coming from. At this point, I don't even think he has the time. He's got to find 2 kills very quickly. And even at that, he's not going to find the shot onto 11th. And that is a questionable play from 11th on the WIT side. He left it too long to realistically go for the bomb, and then decides to run in at the very last moment and give up his life and his weapon. WIT are already struggling to get enough money together for a full buy in each of these rounds, and now TUD.
Hang on, speaking of money. Speaking of money, that's
not
4
a problem.
auto snipers. Hang on, whoa.
Not a problem for TUD, but This is potentially semi-final point right here.
I will give it to Adzo for being able to get the first kill with a scout nonetheless. But here we go. The wall of auto snipers is coming. Adam and Kaz will find 11th and near. They have to, TUD have to know what's going on now. With an AK for Kerbenji and just a deagle for Raz. They're about to be hit by some of the most expensive weapons in Counter-Strike. Kerbenji can find 1 kill onto Adam. And that Molotov will just barely miss Raz. Kerbenji will find a second onto Kaz. And now Raz alone against Ventake and Flash. He won't be able to line up the headshot fast enough for Flash to delete him from the game with an off headshot. Well, look, I'd said before the WIT have done extremely well in getting this far, and bringing the score to 16-9 is still an accomplishment against, you know, the reigning Counter-Strike champion here at Irish Collegiate Esports.
Yeah, that was a showing from TUD, and yet again, they have shown why they are not only deserving of that final spot next week, but also the fact that they are the 3-time champions in our CSGO tournament. Commiserations to WIT. To echo your own thoughts, Nasparad, they've done so well to get this far, and to put it into context, to put up 9 rounds against this TUD squad on train is nothing short of a great feat in and of itself. But unfortunately, rounds are only so much, and that final spot was what they wanted. That was the end game goal. They weren't up to the task now, but they may be in the future. So commiserations to the WIT squad. But with that said, congratulations, TUD have solidified their position in the grand final yet again. Flash topping out the scoreboard with 26 frags in train in only 25 rounds. A huge performance from everybody on the TUD roster. Not enough kills to go around to really break down the stats too much. But other than that,
well,
we're going to find out who they're going to be facing off again soon.
Yeah, never mind, you know, not enough kills to break down the stats. There's probably not too much time either, because in just over half an hour's time, we will be, let me grab these standings back for everyone at home. We will be seeing the next match between UCD and I believe that is, yeah, think of for me, the Ulster Unicorns. There you go. Everything in front of me now. So, commiserations for WIT. Congratulations once again to TUD. And let's see if we don't have a bit of a repeat of the years prior. Let's hope the Ulster Unicorns can break the mold and make their way into the finals. Or will we see another repeat of UCD TUD, of the UCD TUD love-hate relationship that's been going on for the last couple seasons over here at ICE?
Yeah, we might just see that. We might see a repeat of the last couple of finals, or Ulster Unicorns could throw a bit of a spanner in the works. They've been looking very, very good all tournaments so far as well. But thankfully for all our viewers at home, you guys are not going to have to wait too long to find out who will be taking on TUD Apes in the grand final next week. Joining us quite shortly will be Evan and Ro, and they will be your hosts and your commentators for this next semi-final tonight, kicking off in, just about 30 minutes or so. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gents. We'll be back before you know it. We'll have a little bit of a pre-show to discuss the next 2 teams in this semi-final, and we'll be kicking things off just before 8 p.m. So we'll see you there. Thank you very much for tuning in. And of course, thank you, Nasparad, for joining me for this semi-final. I'm very excited to see who goes through to the final to face TUD, and I'm sure we'll be watching from the sidelines.
Exactly. Thanks for coming to join us now for this so important wrap up of the season. Of course, next week we will be having the finals between TUD and whoever can prevail between UCD and the Ulster Unicorns. And if you are intending, and you should, to stick around and watch the next game, do not worry if Twitch looks like it's freaking out a bit. You may have to refresh just a little while while we swap over casters to... let me double check who's casting at the moment, because of course we can't be here all night. That would be the dream job too much.
Yeah, it's going to be Evan and Ro.
Evan and Ro. So for now, I'm going to play us out with a bit of music, and you will see the stream switch over. But either way, do stick with us, and we hope you enjoy the next match as we hope you have enjoyed this one. And let's see if someone can topple the king.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you for tuning in, everyone, and we'll catch you very soon.
All right, everybody. Thanks for waiting. We're going to be switching over very soon to Evan and Ro, who will be casting out our last game of the evening, UCD Leviathan.